Off of Sabonis has been so terrific, and like Fox has been terrific, and I'm talking about how great Fox is on the defensive end. You get maybe a little bit even more of a lift on the defensive end in his backup, and Mitchell's hit a couple of threes here in the last couple of games. He's had kind of his ups and downs offensively, but you also have Monk, who's great at facilitating as a backup. There's a lot of guys that can handle the ball, but a backup to Sabonis has been a little more. It's a little harder to come by. It's been Metu since like Orlando, and he's okay. Been better than I thought. He's really surprised me. Like I really thought
me too.
Like honestly, me too for Metu. I don't know, but he does some things well. He's had some nice energy plays. He had a moment against the Warriors where he just went straight to the rim, dribbled straight to the rim, boom. You gonna give me that?
I told you that he's the energy guy. Remember, that's the one thing Metu can do. He has those energy plays, and those are big off the bench. It gets the crowd into it, gets the bench into it. But sorry,
yeah, no. I mean, absolutely, some alley oops. He's definitely, I think, getting. I think we were talking about. It's weird that Holmes, he doesn't have Halliburton, but how could you not build chemistry on alley oops with other guys on this team? We were just talking about how there's so many ball handlers on this team, so many people that can take it to the rim and facilitate at the rim, and you can't find somebody to match up with. Well, Metu, I think he's gotten a couple from him and Monk have tried to hook up a couple times, and I think they have. I think he might have gotten one from Fox as well. So it's that's great to see. But one of the things that's kind of important is the defensive end, because that seemed to be what Metu was providing at first. When he came in, it kind of all started, I guess, with the first Warriors game when he came in for basically the fourth quarter, and he stayed in the whole game because they played better defense with him. They weren't doing, 2 games later against the Warriors, they're running that trap and that box and one that I guess Mike Brown threw at him before the game started. They did a walkthrough, and they'd never done it before, and they executed it pretty well. But they weren't doing that in game 1. So with Metu out there, they had better switchability. You didn't have so much of the Warriors exploiting a switch where you all of a sudden have Domantas Sabonis guarding Steph Curry. It was a little bit more manageable, I guess, to be able to have Metu out there switching. And that's not to say that Metu's like Bam Adebayo or anything like that, or even Damian Jones. But he gives you a little bit better of an option there. That seemed to be the case at first. But then it's these last couple of games, there's been some defensive moments where it's he got beat by Austin Reeves. And Austin Reeves isn't really an athletically gifted NBA player in any way. So that was kind of troubling. But one of the things that gives you hope with Metu is because he is providing, things on the offensive end. But I think he was getting taken to the rim by somebody against the Warriors. And obviously, like I said, you're not going to expect Metu to stop a guy, lock a guy down. But what ended up happening is you got good help on a rotation that time. So, maybe I don't want to put so much on Metu for the defense. He's definitely not a guy you want out on an island against anybody, but neither is Harrison Barnes or a lot of guys on this team. But, Metu, I guess I'm just trying to have this is a hard way of saying that Metu's been just adequate. Maybe that's kind of too kind. He's just been okay. It's been compared to everything else. I guess it's better,
Dude, yeah, compared to everything else, it's fine. It's fine by me, I guess. I mean, better than Richaun Holmes, He's just gone now, I guess. He's just
I don't know how Holmes is going to work himself back in the rotation.
Yeah. No, I mean, at least Metu's stepped up to the challenge when Holmes you never really expected Len to be, that guy on a night-to-night basis just because he's,
Len serves one purpose.
Yeah, as a bruiser.
Yeah. And you're never going to use that unless it's certain matchups and at certain points in those matchups. Um,
Yeah.
but
But,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
good
go
for
ahead.
Metu. Yeah, I was just like, good for Metu. Like, it's kind of worked in his favor recently where he's had some small ball lineups where he can fit in and, play that well. And, he's doing the best as he can for Chimezie Metu, right? Like, he surprised me so far. Um, it seems like his threes are down a little, which is good because he was jacking those things up. He's still taking them, but last year he was jacking them up every open three he got. He was just like, all right,
Yeah,
well,
he almost looks hesitant this year, actually.
which is great. He should be. He's terrible. He's a terrible three point shooter. He can make it. No, he's not good. But
He can get hot. He can get hot, but unless if he's not hot, then stop. Don't take him. I totally see what you're saying.
yeah, so I mean, he's providing minutes that someone's got to step up at that backup five position right now, and he's doing it, and good for him. That's all I can say. Like, thank you, Metu. Like, because screw Richaun Holmes. I guess at this point, jeez, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's a little harsh, but jeez.
Yeah, I'm like, gee, man.
Sorry. Let me take that back. But it's just upsetting. Like, dude, what's going on with you?
We were talking about it. It created a huge hole. Like it was unforeseen.
I just think he's pissed, dude. I that's why it's a little upsetting to me. I think he's pissed. I think he's just like, ah, man, I'm on the backup now. Like, oh man, I mean, just imagine if Holmes was playing just like at the same energy level he had been over the last 3 seasons. He would be. This team would be a lot better. Like, honestly, they would be really good. Yeah. But now we have, Sabonis doesn't really have that backup now. Like, Holmes was a huge part of why we thought this team had such good depth, right? It was Monk, Mitchell, and Holmes off the bench. Like, wow, that's really good. But it's just like, boom, you take off, Holmes, or you take off Sabonis' backup and Holmes, who was the starting center for the last 2.5 seasons. It's just frustrating. I'm personally frustrated over it because he could be playing bad, that's one thing, but it's the lack of energy that I saw with him on the floor when he was playing, where it's just like you clearly don't want to be here. It's like you can just tell. So that's where my frustration towards Holmes is coming, and it's like we all love Holmes and Sack, man. Like he was a fan favorite. Everyone loved the dude. And it's like, I don't know. You're still getting paid, So yeah. Now you're just going to ride the bench. I don't know. Maybe there's more happening, but I just, there's no explanation at this point for me. So
yeah, we were saying that last week. It's like, it's just going to it's just speculation at that point. But on the note that maybe he's not happy, we were just talking about that Mike Brown emphasizes the know your role. And if you don't really know your role, or you're not happy with your role, you're probably not going to be on the team. Well, it's not like you can just release Richaun Holmes, or not. I mean, I guess you could, but nobody's going to do that.
Yeah, you're not gonna.
But it's like that might be the best guess. But just like, I guess to kind of like stay a little positive on Mezie over here, is that. Like maybe because like you think about it, it's like if anybody's gonna figure out how to make Chimezie Metu effective, like decent on the defensive end, and he's shown flashes of it, it's Mike Brown, because Mike Brown, defensive coordinator effectively of the Warriors last season, was quoted as saying that he doesn't really think you need a rim protector. You can play basically a 5-man defense and protect the rim that way. And I think he thinks Metu can be like, not just in small lineups, but in a lot of lineups, be the 5 in that kind of like team defense situation.
Kind of like Looney, maybe.
It's exactly like Looney. Looney's not a rim protector. He's not. I mean, obviously I think he's probably stronger than Metu, but one of the things that you see from Looney and Draymond Green, how do they protect the paint? How do they have such a good defense last season? They're two bigs, effectively. Looney and Draymond were two of the best communicators on the team defensively. And you see that naturally with big men, centers in particular. You're in the back, so you're always communicating, telling guys what's happening. So it would be interesting to see Metu develop overall, particularly in that communication and in that kind of like awareness and understanding, how everything works together defensively. I guess like Metu is interesting, and it's almost like I feel like we'll get to this in a second, but it's like people want to talk about getting a center, and I don't think that would be a bad idea. Like trying to get someone that maybe has a little bit more Sabonis skill set while still keeping, a guy like Metu and just kind of playing matchups more or less, might not be a bad option.
All
But
right,
if
say it.
yeah, but we'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
But
Okay.
just people have to understand that it's like I wouldn't be surprised if Mike Brown's saying like, look, let's hold off on that for a second. I think we can do something with Chimezie Metu. And we always talk about the fact that he's got tremendous trust in his players. He has extremely like embedded trust. It just seems unshakable in the guys that he coached for the Nigerian national basketball team at the Olympics. And Metu might stick there for a while, and it's on him to get better. And I think he has a chance to, and that's probably more so a credit to Brown than it is Metu. But Metu's your best option, obviously, right now. It'll be interesting to see what happens.